Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Wednesday, February 1st, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Also check out our Patreon if you want access our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link in description and comment section below. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. Houston Rockets vs Oklahoma City Thunder. The Oklahoma City Thunder look to bounce back from a loss with a victory on Wednesday when visiting the Houston Rockets. Oklahoma City is 24-26 and tied for fourth in the Northwest Division with Portland, 10 games behind the first-place Denver Nuggets. Oklahoma City was defeated by the Golden State Warriors 128-120 on Monday night. The leading scorer for Oklahoma City was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 31 points. This is the type of game that the Thunder have to win if they truly want to compete for a play-in spot or more. They are on the road facing a lesser team, and that lesser team is banged up with some key players questionable. It helps that they have the two best players on the floor in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Josh Giddey, while Houston may be missing their two best players, Green and Alperen. Also, the Thunder have been great against the spread, going 31-18-1 against the number this season. Houston, on the other hand, is just 20-29-1 against the spread. Take Oklahoma City here to cover. Oklahoma City is battling for a postseason berth thanks in a big part to their offense that is scoring an average of 116.9 points per game, which is fifth best in the NBA. Oklahoma City has a field goal shooting percentage of 46.9%, which is 20th, and a three-point shooting percentage of 36.3%, which is 13th. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the leading scorer for Oklahoma City, with an average of 30.9 points per game, which is fifth in the NBA. Josh Giddey is the second leading scorer with an average of 16.1 points per game, while two others on Oklahoma City average double figures in scoring. Giddey is the leader in assists with an average of 5.7 dishes per game. Oklahoma City is averaging 24.5 assists and 13.3 turnovers per game. Although Oklahoma City is fifth in the NBA in scoring, Houston is next to last. The total has finished under in 4 of Houston's last 5, in 4 of the last 5 that Houston has played against Oklahoma City, and in 5 of Oklahoma City's last 7 overall. Houston will be without its second leading scorer Kevin Porter Jr. and could be without its leading scorer and third leading scorer. Take the under, 231.5 points. Utah Jazz vs Toronto Raptors. The Toronto Raptors look to bounce back from a loss with a victory on Wednesday when visiting the Utah Jazz. Toronto is 23-29 and last in the Atlantic Division, 13.5 games behind the first-place Boston Celtics. Toronto was defeated by the Phoenix Suns 114-106 on Monday night. Toronto will be playing its 5th consecutive game on the road when visiting the Jazz on Wednesday. Looking at the direct matchup history between these two squads, the Raptors have covered in 7 of the last 8 games. Overall, they're 4-2 ATS in their last 6 games. While their raw offensive and defensive numbers don't look insane, they're incredible at the intangibles. The Jazz are in the bottom third in turnovers, and Toronto forces more than anybody. The Raptors are also much better at rebounding and have the number 1 assist-to-turnover ratio in the NBA, 1.964. Between the blocks, steals, and offensive rebounds, I suspect that Toronto will be able to keep this game close in spite of their inefficiency on a possession-by-possession basis. This is an instance where I'm going to value the quantity of possession over the quality of shots. I like the Raptors plus 3 points. Utah is 4-2 in their last 6 games, with their most recent being a 108-100 win over the Dallas Mavericks. The Jazz won the rebounding contest 49-31 with 13 offensive boards. Their active defense also generated 9 steals and 6 blocks. They shot a little worse from 3, 36.1% versus 39.1%, but better from the floor overall, 47.6% versus 43.8%. Utah got to the free throw line 24 times in the game, hit 70.8%, compared to only 17 for Dallas, 70.6%. The Jazz did turn the ball over more, 16 times compared to 13, and that's something they'll want to clean up slightly. They still managed to cover the -7.5 spread, while the total went under 223. The Jazz have taken a step back from how well they were playing at the beginning of the season, but they're still in the thick of the playoff race in the Western Conference for the time being. They're ranked 10th in EFG percent, 55.5%, three-point percentage, 36.8%, and shooting efficiency, 1.172. Their own offensive rebounding isn't awful, ranked 7th, while their defensive rebounding rate of 74.7% ranks 24th. They're about average defensively, ranked 16th in opponent's EFG percent, 54.5%, and 13th in opponent shooting efficiency, 1.150. They're somewhat turnover prone, 13.2% rate, ranked 20th, and don't force many themselves, 12.0% opponent turnover rate, ranked 23rd. The Jazz are averaging the 4th most points per game of any team in the league this season, 117.5. In their last 20 games against the Raptors, the over has hit in 13 of them. So far this season these two teams have seen the total go over in 57 games, compared to 47 for the under, 54.8%. Toronto has hit the over in 7 of their last 10 road games as well. The Jazz should find success offensively once they get into their sets against a Raptors defense that struggles in the half court. Meanwhile, their own defense gives up 116.3 points per game, ranked 21st, so Toronto should be able to find scoring opportunities, even though it hasn't been a strength of theirs this season. Our total pick is over 230.5 points. The total went over the last 2 times they played, and I see the streak going to 3. Phoenix Suns vs Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks go back on the road Wednesday night, start the new month with a game in Phoenix, Arizona against the Phoenix Suns. Atlanta comes into Wednesday at an even 25-25 on the year, losing 2 of the last 3, including a 7-point loss to the Los Angeles Clippers in their last game. Defensively, Atlanta was obliterated as Los Angeles scored 120 points, including 62 in the second half on 52.5%, shooting 48.7% from beyond the arc. Offensively, Atlanta did shoot the ball well, making 47.4% of their shots turn the ball over 9 times, resulting in the loss. The Hawks only ranked 21st in the NBA in opponents' points allowed, giving up 116.6 ppg. But they have had big issues on D as of late, giving up an average of 122.8 ppg over the last 5 games. In their last game they were on the road and lost to the Portland Trail Blazers 129-125, where they shot a decent 46.8% from the floor, but allowed the Blazers to shoot 54.4% and 47.5% from beyond the 3-PT arc. In the loss, Dejounte Murray went for a season-high 40 points on 13-26 shooting, Bogdan Bogdanovic came off the bench and had 23 points, and Clint Capella had a double-double with 10 points and 15 rebounds. Atlanta did cover the spread as a 5.5-point underdog, and they have covered in 2 of their last 3 games. The Suns have been playing well, winning 6 of their last 7 games, and this is with their leading scorer in Booker out. On the other side of the coin, the Hawks have lost 4 of 5 games, and their leading scorer in Young missed the last game and is questionable for this one. Atlanta had not played good D in their last 5 games, giving up an average of 122.8 ppg in their last 5 games, and they gave up 129 points in their last game. Phoenix has had good balance on the season and rank 5th in the league, giving up an average of 111.6 ppg. They have been solid at home where they have won 8 of their last 10 games facing the Hawks. That trend will continue, as the Suns will play good D and shoot the pill well at home, and that is why they are the pick to win and cover. Our team pick is Suns minus 1.5 points. It is usually the case that when you shoot the rock better you win, and that was the case in the Suns' last game where they were at home and beat the Toronto Raptors 114-106. Phoenix shot 49.4% from the floor and 39.3% from 3T land, and they held the Raptors to 44.9% shooting and 27.3% shooting from deep. Michael Bridges led the way for the Suns with 29 points on 12/19 shooting, DeAndre Ayton had a big game with 22 points and 13 rebounds, and Chris Paul had 19 points and 9 assists. Phoenix covered the spread as a 1.5-point favorite, and they have covered in 6 of their last 7 games, including their last 2. Star guard and leading scorer Devin Booker, 27.1 ppg, has been out since late January with a groin injury and will be re-evaluated this week. Ayton, 17.7 ppg 10 rpg, is the second leading scorer and leading rebounder, and he had totaled 45 points and 21 rebounds in the last 2 games. Bridges, 16.5 ppg, has stepped it up in the scoring department in the last 2 games, totaling 54 points, and in the 2 games shot over 55% in each one. Paul, 14.3 ppg 8.7 assists per game, has also stepped up in the scoring department, averaging 21.6 ppg over the last 5 games. On the season, the Suns are 19-8 at home and have won 5 of their last 6 games on their floor. I'm leaning towards the over in this game, even though the strength of the Suns is their defense. The Hawks gave up 129 points in their last game, are giving up an average of 122.8 ppg over their last 5 games, and in 7 of their last 8 games, including the last 3, the total has gone over. The Suns are decent in the scoring department, but their last 2 games have gone over, where they scored 114 points and 128 points respectively. They will get it done on the offensive side of the court, again facing a struggling Atlanta defense, and that is the main reason the over is the pick for this non-conference clash. Take the over 228.5 points.